Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, it's actually a very, very special day today, too, which is great. I've talked about new ships coming out, but one is actually Star of the Seas. That's Royal Caribbean's brand new ship. And they acquired her and they brought her over the ocean, of course. And they just arrived in Port Canaveral this morning. Okay? That's really fun too. And with Royal Caribbean, I'll share more about that later too, but they're going to be doing some short, small, immediate cruises, 3-4 nights first, and then later on, they'll be christening the ship, of course, too, and then launching her Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises. We'll share more about that later too, but that's really kind of fun too, that the ship just arrived today in Port Canaveral, which is great too. I'll share more about that later in my show. But what fun thing is too is also we've got some really, really great milestones. Holland America Line, which has been sailing for quite a while in Alaska, of course, 2027, just 2 years, she's going to celebrate their 80th years in Alaska, okay, which is really great. That just came up. And what they're doing is they've got some great things they're going to be doing to celebrate their 80 years sailing on Alaskan cruises, which is great. And it's great because, like I said, they've got more than 100 cruises right now open to book as part of this 2027 anniversary season. Yes. And like I said, what they're doing too is they just announced they've got some enhanced cruise tour experiences too. From April through September 2027, 6 Holland America Line ships are going to actually take travelers to get closer to the glaciers and the wildlife on cruises sailing from round trip Seattle or Vancouver, which is great, between Vancouver and Whittier, which is great too. So once again, as far as the length of these cruises, 7 to 28 days, and it kind of also mentions their legendary Alaskan Arctic Circle Solstice, okay, and like I said, they got a new 8-day Alaska Inside Passage cruise, which visits Glacier Bay, Skagway, Ketchikan, and also British Columbia's Prince Rupert, with a late night departure, which is great too, from Juneau. And if you've ever sailed from Alaska, believe me, or to Alaska cruise, it's wonderful, amazing. I want to go back there so much. And the thing is, I was there actually back in 1997, kind of dates me, but it was an amazing experience. And I packed so many clothes, but I was in the last sailing that Celebrity Cruises was doing on their brand new ship back then. Wonderful, but the point is, the weather cooperated, and half the clothes I brought I didn't have to wear, which is really fun. I saw whales first night. It was gorgeous, such beautiful places, and the ships, of course, were smaller. They docked right there, which is great too. But it was amazing to see these beautiful places in Alaska. It's an amazing experience, and yes, Alaska is calling me back, probably next year, because Alaska season ends in September. But this is really kind of fun because when you think about how long cruise lines have been sailing, well, you know what? Like I said, 2027 is actually marks Holland America Line's 80 years sailing Alaskan cruises, right? Which is great too. And they've got different things they announced too. I know that they've got, as mentioned, they've got their legendary Alaskan Arctic Circle Solstice, which is going to depart on June 6th of 2027, and for the summer solstice, okay, and it's gonna, the voyage on board the Nordam, their ship, is going to sail round trip Seattle to the Bering Sea into the Arctic Circle, with visits to 11 different Alaskan ports, plus Port Rupert and also Vancouver. And then she's got overnight Whittier, which is in Anchorage, which is great. We'll stay late in Juneau, also Valdez, and a cruise through the Inside Passage, which I did, and also along the Great Bear Rainforest. It was great too, and I was at Alaska cruise a long time ago. I saw glaciers calf, which is great. That's when the glaciers break off. They call them calving, right? So a long time ago when I was doing some different articles, and I also was doing this really cute thing about Message from the Dog, but we were talking with my puppy niece at the time, and we were writing articles together too before we wrote our second book together. My second book I wrote with her, but glaciers do have babies, they calf, right? How fun. But anyway, this is really good too, because once again, they're offering too. This is kind of fun too. They're actually offering, Holland America's offering a 7-day Great Bear Rainforest and 2 18-day Great Bear Rainforest and Alaska Explorer sailings are available too. So once again, 2 is right now, even though this is not going to take place in 2027, Holland America Line is actually offering for a limited time. You can actually get an early booking discount too. So please keep that in mind too, because once again, it's great. Alaska's beautiful and it's fun. That in 2027 is when Holland America Line is going to be celebrating their 80 years sailing Alaska. Okay, so that I mentioned up too, because right now I'm outside Chicago, but it's a bit hot. As my friend from Great Britain says, he'll say, well, it's too bloody hot here. Well, you know what? Right now, sailing Alaska cruise sounds really, really good, doesn't it? But you can actually get this things booked with Holland America Line right now for 2027 right now, get a discount. So keep in mind, because it sounds really phenomenal, doesn't it? Yes. And something else, too, just kind of came up, too, is we talk about out islands, okay, private out islands. And the thing is, cruise lines really, after we're going through COVID-19, unfortunately, in 2020, when cruise lines started sailing back in 2021, what a lot of cruise lines started doing is a lot of them had their own private out islands. So they started offering short cruises to their private out islands because, once again, it was very safe. They controlled everything. But one thing, too, is as far as how the private out island came up originally, Norwegian Cruise Line, okay? Norwegian Cruise Line actually was the first cruise line to actually have its own private out island. What they did, this is back in 1977, yes, they purchased Great Stirrup Cay in the Bahamas in 1977, and this really, really, really pioneered the move. We saw other cruise lines taking on the concept of maybe doing their own exclusive island destinations for their passengers too. And it's a beautiful island. In fact, the very first cruise I actually took was on Norwegian Cruise Lines. Yes, did a 3-night cruise. Fell in love with cruising myself, and we went to Great Stirrup Cay. It was a phenomenal experience too. Once again, too, is they've added more, but I've been there several times on different cruises with Norwegian Cruise Lines. One thing they're doing too is they're doing some really great, wonderful things too right now. And one thing they're doing too is with cruise lines, what they've done is before originally the cruise lines would actually have to anchor, and you had to take just the what do you call it? I'm trying to think. The boats over to the private out island. Okay, the thing is, what they did was, like cruise lines now, when they've built their own private out islands and expanded those, they actually have a dock. What they're doing right now too is, instead of tendering in with Norwegian Cruise Line going to Great Stirrup Cay, their private out island, they're actually building a new dock, which is great. And their cruise ships will be able to dock there. I don't know when the actual the dock's going to be opening up too, but once again, they just announced something really, really fun too. They're adding more to Great Stirrup Cay, their private out island. And they just announced July 29th, they're going to be building a water park on their private island, Great Stirrup Cay. And what they did was they did a big announcement, and once again, too, it's really great, too, to be able to add more to the island. It's beautiful. I've been there several times, but what they're doing, too, is they're building a new twist. It's their own private island water park, okay? And what they're doing is they got different sections, okay? Because other cruise lines have that, too, now. But like I said, the key thing is a lot of cruise lines have their own private islands, which is great. And they do have their own version of the water park. So Norwegian Cruise Line is going to be doing this too. They're going to have their let's see, it's called their Dynamic River, which is great. And they're going to have, in addition to, they're going to have 19 water slides. And this is going to be what Norwegian Cruise Lines calls their Dynamic River. Okay, it's faster than their traditional lazy rivers. Also, they've got a 9,000 square foot splash pool for kids, which is great. Also, they've got a 6-acre Great Tides water park. They're going to have a new pool and recreational areas coming later on this year. 8 of the water slides will actually be perched on the 170-foot tidal tower, which includes racing slides and slides with rafts. Another section is going to be called Cliffside Cove, which is going to have 10 and 15-foot cliff jumps and a family slide that can actually fit 4 people. Also, they've got a nearby hidden cave bar called Grotto Bar. Okay. They also have with the kids splash pool, which is great too. It's going to be in the center of the water park. It's going to have 8 mini slides, as well as tipping buckets, and it's really going to looks kind of fun too. So anyway, with the water park, it has access. There's an entrance fee, I think, to access it, but they haven't announced what the fee's going to be. But the thing is, it looks really great, really pretty too. Also, they've got, like I said, they've got. They're working on it right now, and they're investing the money too. So they're going to be adding more announcements too. But they just announced this, of course, on July 29th, about a week ago. Also, as far as the pool, as mentioned, they're going to add more details because they are going to be building a new pier, okay, and pool at the site. The pool is going to be 1.4 acres. It's called Great Lake Lagoon. It's going to have 2 swim-up bars, also lively reef bar, which has a DJ, and I got Waves Bar, which would be near the kids splash area too. And some other things too about it too is, like I mentioned, it's going to be great that they have their own dock right there too. So I don't know when they actually have the dock being built there for ships to dock right there, their ships, but should be coming up in the next year. I'll keep you posted too. And it sounds really good that they're adding different things too for people to enjoy too, and they're just kind of making some announcements too. They've got Splash Harbor that's going to have it's a 3,400 square foot splash pool. Also, Horizon Park will offer lawn games, pickleball. Yes, pickleball on a private outlet, which is kind of fun. Mini golf and also sports court. It's going to be like half the size of a basketball court too. Also, they're going to have nearly 50 hammocks on their new hammock bay with a dedicated bar. And there's going to be also an adults-only area in Great Stirrup Cay too. It's called the Via Shore Club. A bar, hanging day beds, and also premium lounges and umbrellas, and day passes will be available to purchase. So once again, they're just kind of still working on different details, but they just made this big announcement last week. So once again, I'll keep you posted on this too. And once again too, it's really great because once again, being able to have their ships finally docked there instead of tendering. The tender was not bad, believe me. I was there about 3 years ago on the pre-christening cruise of their new ship, but we had tendering. The island is gorgeous. They added more areas, beautiful. And once again, that's one of the reasons I fell in love with cruising, because I sailed on the Norwegian Cruise Line my first cruise, and we went there, which is great. We had to tender in, but I think it was a great experience, and now they've added more, but it's really, really pretty. And so it's kind of exciting what they're doing too as far as adding more to the island, including their own private island water park and their own twist. So keep in mind too, I'll show more of that too, because once again, it's kind of fun that Norwegian Cruise Line was the very first cruise line that actually did their own private island experience back in 1997. Other cruise lines have jumped in over the years, and they've added more, which is great. It's wonderful that Norwegian Cruise Line is actually going to start having a dock for the ships to dock right there, which is great too. So keep it in mind, because that's kind of fun, isn't it? Yes. And I love the private outlines too, because once again, they offer some great experiences. You can relax if you want to, just relax, get off, and just view the ocean. They got different sections. As far as private islands, what I really love too is I have a personal favorite of Ocean Cay MSC Marine Resort, which is MSC Cruises private island. Okay, MSC Cruises, which is family owned, yes. They also have Explorer Journeys, their luxury cruise line. What they did was the MSC Group actually has their own private container shipping company. They're family owned, okay, for years. They got into the cruise industry business about 30 years ago and expanded into the U.S. Their ships are gorgeous. And then their luxury cruise line, Explorer Journeys, just launched about 3 years ago. But their private island is in the Bahamas, and it's beautiful. Their ships dock right there. You walk right off. It's beautiful. As mentioned, they also did their own ring conservatory right there too. I was there on the Christian Cruise of World America back on April 9th through the 12th. And we actually docked right there was there at the island for a day and a half. It was gorgeous what they did too. It was beautiful and just wonderful things they're doing, because what they're doing right there too is they're actually building coral reef trees too, because once again it's a great way for the to save the oceans too, and people don't know about that too, but it's great too. So, but how fun, right? I think it's wonderful they're doing too. Something else just came up too as far as Princess Cruises. Okay, they're actually doing some really kind of fun things too. Is they're going to be adding more sailings. Their largest ever Japan deployment in 2027. They just announced this. They're going to have 2 ships offering 78 different departures, 50 different itineraries, which is a landmark, and it's also going to be starting their biggest Japan season ever in 2027, and it's going to be featuring 2 ships, the Diamond Princess and also the Sapphire Princess. They're going to be sailing from Tokyo region throughout the entire season, and this is really, really a major milestone for their brand's legacy in Asia too, which is great too. In 2027, the program includes 78 departures from 50 unique itineraries with voyages that range from 7 to 28 days. And once again, from March through December 2027, and the Japan season actually opens up for sale actually in a couple weeks, August 20th. Yes. And they just made this announcement, kind of fun too. This came up actually 2 days ago. And what they're doing too is they've got different itineraries, okay? As mentioned, their 2 ships will be the Diamond Princess and the Sapphire Princess. And actually kind of fun too is these 2 ships are actually built in Japan, okay? And as mentioned, they got different itineraries they're offering too. And more time ashore, which is fun too. And then they've got some special sailings too, plus they're going to offering some Japanese touches on board too. As mentioned, you guys can actually start booking these sailings right now, end of August, August 27th, okay? As mentioned, like I said, they're going to offer some Japanese touches on board too, and that's great too, because once again, they've got regional dishes, spirited drinks from Japanese whiskeys, sake, and shoku. Also, they've got traditional things too they're doing too. So once again, keep it in mind too. And something else they mentioned too was actually they've got it's called Makoto Ocean by sushi master Makoto Okuma. Hope I pronounced it correctly. What they're doing is they're expanding their Makoto Ocean sushi restaurant to Diamond Princess and Sapphire Princess too, starting this fall. And so guests sailing to Antarctica, Southeast Asia, Japan will be able to avoid this really, really great restaurant. It's by these 2 great ships too, and it was first actually introduced on the Sun Princess in 2024, and then it debuted on the Star Princess. It's going to debut on the Star Princess this October, and once again too, it's really become a favorite for guests. And as far as Chef Makoto, he brings more than 25 years of culinary experience too, and offers different Japanese traditional things too, and as mentioned, it's just kind of special Japanese cuisine too. And once again too, the expansion of, it's called Makoto Ocean, really brings some really great things for people that are interested in sailing different parts of the world too, which is great too. And as mentioned, with popular restaurants in Miami, Washington, D.C., also Madrid, Panama City, Chef Okuma has been showcasing his cuisine on the Food Network's Iron Chef America. He's also recognized by the James Beard Foundation too, so that's kind of fun too. So once again, that's going to be coming on board this fall on the Diamond Princess and also the Sapphire Princess too, so keep in mind too. Because once again, with cruise lines and their cuisine, it's really, really wonderful. Great way to really enjoy different types of cuisine, which I think is great too. So keep in mind too. Something else is Celebrity Cruises. Just mention what's new in 2027 and also 2028. Yes, I know we're talking about 2 years from now, but it's still exciting too. Because once again, cruise lines, what they do is when they open up different things, you can actually book right now, get the best rates right now for even doing a cruise in 2 years, which is great too. And Celebrity Cruises just made some announcements too, as far as where they're moving their ships sailing to. One example, Celebrity Cruises just mentioned, this came up this week too. The Celebrity Xcel is going to sail a second full Mediterranean season, summer 2027. And the Celebrity Edge is going to actually do an extended Alaska season too. And their Celebrity Xcel, which is going to actually debut this November, okay, that's a new ship. We one of 7 ships and 3 of the Edge class sailings in Europe, 2027 and 2028. And its Mediterranean sailings are actually focused from 7 to 12 nights. Also, other Celebrity ships sailing Europe will be the Celebrity Ascent, the Celebrity Apex, the Celebrity Eclipse, the Silhouette, and the Infinity. And actually, the Celebrity Infinity is going to do sail the region year-round for the first time and off-season sailings to the Canary Islands and Morocco. Okay. And then something else I mentioned too, as far as the Celebrity Millennium, she's going to homeboard in Tokito's Narita Terminal, the second season, with overnight stays to 4 different Japanese cities. In Alaska, the Celebrity Edge's season will include more sailings at the beginning and end of the season than in previous years too. And so he's going to announce some things later on too, as far as Alaska season. And the Celebrity Solstice and Celebrity Summit will also return to Alaska too. So once again, right now, as mentioned, they made this big announcement, but also, like I said, right now, the Europe and Japanese cruises are actually on sale right now. Alaskan cruises actually go on sale September 9th. So once again, look them up. Keep in mind too, because once again, if it kind of intrigues you, remember once again too, is they open up sales early before the ships debut or move around. So keep in mind, because you get the best rates. Also make sure you get a space too on the ship, which is great too. So they just announced that, which is really, really fun too. Something else I think I want to share too is cruise lines are doing some great things as far as sustainability efforts. Okay, they really are. And once again, they're working on ways to really restore coral reef trees, not using plastics. They recycle food in very, very prominent ways too. Also, as far as what they're doing, as far as how they actually operate their ships too. And what's great too is the Cruise Lines International Association, CLIA, does an annual report, but also just ran across something really, really fun too. Just came up last week about what MSC Cruises and Explore Journeys are doing right now too, as far as really focusing on sustainability efforts they're doing right now too. And what they do is they published their 2024 sustainability report, which just came out. And once again, too, is the whole thing is they're working very, very hard, as other cruise lines too, to really, 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 they are really going net zero green gas emissions by 2050, which is the Cruise Lines International is doing too. Also, the report shows same thing they're doing right now too. They're really, really focusing on the environmental, innovative things they're doing right now too. And once again, that's great too, because once again, we're seeing cruise ships that are being operated on liquefied natural gas now. Okay. Also, cruise ships have a way to actually, what they did was they actually have also shore power. Okay, I know that with Royal Caribbean, what they do is their headquarters are in Miami, but also they just open up shore power. They've been using shore power for their ships to actually be able to take shore power in Miami, other ports, of course, across the world. So shore power, which is where the cruise lines actually just dock right there. They punch in the shore power right there, which is great too. And also some key developments too is I know that they're working very hard as far as other initiatives too. And like I said, they're doing great things to really, really make sure we don't kill the oceans, which is great. What's fun too is, it's probably been 5, 6 years, 7 years ago, is when cruise lines actually stopped um, giving straws out. Okay, and they recycle plastics on board, which is great too. They recycle food. They're very, very safe as far as what they're doing as far as the shore power to actually energize their ships too, using less energy, also going to liquefy natural gas, and finding other ways to really, really just go through decarbonization too, which is great too. And what's great too is also, as mentioned before, with the Embassy Group, what they're doing is on their private outlet, Ocean Cay Embassy Marine Reserve, they opened up their ocean conservatory. I was there, of course. It was beautiful. They did a ribbon cutting, which is great. That was actually on August 10th to open it up. And what they're doing is they are building coral reef trees there right now, which is great. That's really kind of helps save the oceans too. So that's really good too. So, yes. But keep in mind too, because once again, they're really working very hard. The whole industry is working very hard to really get to net zero emissions, of course, before 2050. But I'll tell you what, right now, with new ships coming out, they're jumping on this so fast and really doing very, very hard to make sure we're going to net zero emissions, okay? And that's, I think, just so important today, too, because once again, we need that. And cruise lines are really, really pulled together on this more than ever. And once again, they don't use plastic straws, okay? They're very careful. They recycle plastics themselves. They don't just drop the plastic in the oceans as the extra food, whatever. They're very careful too. And it's good because once again too is, of course, we want to make sure that the ocean stays alive too. That's so important to us more than ever. And the cruise line industry has really, really pulled together so hard together to make sure that we do save the ocean life more than ever. And a great example, of course, is with the MSC Group and their ocean conservatory, which they opened up in their private island, Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, okay? And it was great to be there too when they opened it up, because I was actually there a couple years ago when they actually did this sand cutting to build that lab right there too, a couple years ago, which is great. So it's really, really fun to think about that too. As far as other ships coming out too, as mentioned, we've got another one coming out too. Brilliant Lady, which is Virgin Voyages' new ship, okay? She's supposed to be coming out, I think, in September right now. That's Virgin Voyages, and remember, Virgin Voyages is adults only. Have to be 18 years or older to sail on Virgin Voyages. It's their 4th ship coming out in September, and it's a really great ship. I got a chance to see the Scarlet Lady when she first debuted in 2021. She was just being brought over to Miami to sail out, and I was there at the Seatrade Cruise Global Conference, but they invited me other media people to actually be on board the ship that evening before she started sailing the next day. It was great to see the ship after writing about it too. Once again too, it's adults only. What's great too is what they do is, but normally when cruise lines first started, they had traditional things, okay? They had their big main dining room, okay? And you had early dining, late dining. You had maybe some buffets for different snacks kind of thing. But once again, too, in the case of with Virgin Voyages, what they do is they've got different specialty restaurants. They're all included, okay? So you don't have the big dining rooms, which is great. It's more inclusive, really, really pretty. Their shows are fantastic. And their pool area is gorgeous. And once again, too, is they've got some really great things they do on board. Wellness programs, of course, too. A variety of different dining options, okay? And the entertainment was really, really dedicated to really having a mature audience, too, which is great, too. Also, when I was on the Scarlet Lady, myself, before she was actually sailing that first cruise, they had a special ice cream parlor, which was really fun. It's called Lick Me Till. Yes. Specialty ice cream was really fun. That small serving, but it was great because once again, it was like ice cream. I loved the title of that ice cream parlor called Lick Me Till, which is great. So definitely keep in mind too. And the Brilliant Lady sounds fantastic. I'll show more of that later on. She's coming out this September, of course. And then of course we've got some other ships coming out right now too. We've got I I know the Slurry Cell is going to be coming out in November this year, November 18th. That's the final ship that Slurry's doing with their Excel class. Okay, Edge class ship too. It sounds great too. Also, I know that Disney has their Disney Destiny coming out this November, November 20th, and it's their third Triton class ship. Also, then they've got their Disney Adventure, and that's coming out December 27th. Great Christmas present, right, too. Also, Windstar Cruises. Oh, that's wonderful, too. Windstar Cruises, you might not, but they're really great cruise line and very, very small ships. But their Star Seeker's coming out this December 28th. And as far as Windstar Cruises, it's small capacity. In this case, with their Star Seeker coming out, of course, this year in December, she'll have a guest capacity of 224 guests, which is great. They do wonderful things too, very immersive and just really, really great too. And something else coming out too, as mentioned before too, is of course we've got the Oceana Allure just came out. Of course, got christened on July 18th, about a month ago. And of course, Bentley's coming out later on this September. Another ship coming out, Four Seasons Yachts. Four Seasons 1, I think, got postponed again. It was supposed to be coming out in December. They changed it to, I think, maybe January, February. Four Seasons 1 is the first ship. And what's great, too, is in this case, they selected a very, very great person to be captain of their ship, the Four Season 1, Captain Kate McHugh. Captain Kate McHugh, by the way, was actually the first woman American captain of a cruise line ship. She's great. I met her when she was with another cruise line for about 10 years, stepped down for a bit, and she just got tired to be the captain of Four Seasons 1, her first ship coming out maybe, it's supposed to be in January. I think they postponed a little bit. That's great too. So once again, we've got great ships coming out. Another one coming out is going to be with, let's see here. I think Princess Cruises. Yeah, Princess Cruises has got their ship coming out too, kind of fun. Let's see, Princess Cruises. I think that's coming out too pretty soon too. So I'll show more about that later too. Oh, the Star Princess. Yeah, Star Princess is going to be coming out this October, and it's going to be their third Sphere class vessel. Her passenger capacity is going to be 4,000, I think, 320 guests. And once again, the Star Princess, which is great too. So she's going to be coming out on October 4th this year. As mentioned, the Slurry Excel is spelled XCEL, is coming out November 18th this year. Okay. Got Disney Destiny coming out November 20th. And then, of course, we've got the Disney Adventure coming out December 27th. Another ship that I want to focus on now more is actually Royal Caribbean. Okay. Star of the Seas. And what came up too is some wonderful updates too with the Star of the Seas. She actually just arrived in Port Canaveral today. And she is their Star of the Seas just arrived in Port Canaveral this morning. Okay. And they really picked kind of a fun godmother. Cruise lines tradition was to pick a godmother, christen the ship to bring happiness, whatever. What they did was some cruise lines actually selected godfathers to be their to christen the ship too. A good example is when Norwegian Cruise Line decided to pick Pitbull as their godfather. Okay, it was really fun. It was their christening was great too. And also before that, they actually had previously picked, I think, the Miami Dolphin Cheerleaders christen their ships too. But in this case, with Star of the Seas, the godmother they chose is Diana Ross. Yes. Diana Ross is going to christen the Star of the Seas. Okay. That'll be taking place later on this month. Okay. So right now, she just arrived into Port Canaveral, which is about an hour away from Orlando. Okay. It's a beautiful port, as there years and years ago. But it's beautiful. They've explored more with different cruise lines now, sailing out Port Canaveral more than ever. And as mentioned, Star Seas just arrived this morning. So that's really great too. Star Seas is big. Okay, it's their second icon class ship too. It's got claim the title being the world's biggest, largest cruise ship. Star of the Seas has 40 different bars, restaurants, and lounges. It's got friendly features, including the largest water park at sea, an ice skating rink, yes, laser tag, escape room, and expansive, really beautiful areas for kids of all ages too. And the ship has more than 2,800 staterooms on board with different types of suites. Actually, some suites can actually accommodate up to 9 people, which is great too. And as mentioned, Star Seas is a sister ship to the Icon Seas, which came out last year. They've got 2 more Icon class ships coming out. These include the Legend Seas, which is going to come out next year, 2026. They got another sister ship coming out 2027. They haven't come up with the name yet, but I'll share more about that later when I find out more. But anyway, Star Seas just arrived today in Port Canaveral. What she's doing right now is she is going to, right now, she's going some very, very short shakedown cruises, okay, for the media. And then her main voyage will take place actually August 16th, and they're going to be christening the ship 4 days later, I guess, by Diana Ross. Yes, she's going to christen the ship as godmother. And then as far as where she's sailing, which is really fun, Star Seas is going to be sailing on 7-night cruises from Port Canaveral year-round, offering Eastern Caribbean cruises plus Western Caribbean cruises too. So keep in mind too, because once again, it's great, and I think what's great too is sailing out of Port Canaveral is gorgeous. I went there a long time ago when Disney first started the cruise line. Before that, another cruise line has sailed out of Port Canaveral too. But once again, it's a really great port to go to. It's about an hour away from Orlando, so great idea too. And as mentioned, the cruise industry first started, of course, they started sailing out of Port Miami, okay, but they expanded into sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, okay, also expanded into different areas too, and then of course Port Canaveral, which is outside of Orlando, is another one too, and also they've been expanding things in Galveston, Texas, and more. And of course, when it comes to Alaskan cruises, traditional Alaskan cruises used to sail out of Vancouver, but then they expanded and they started sailing out of Seattle. And Seattle actually has a really great pier area too, which is great too. And it's great what they're doing as far as expanding too. So definitely keep that in mind too, because that's really fun too. And something else as far as Star of the Seas is, we have different officers on board the ship. You've got the captain, you've got different officers on the bridge, but remember that in the case of Royal Caribbean, when Icon Seas actually debuted last year, they decided to have a new officer on board the ship. And the officer, Rover, that's their chief dog officer, okay, on Icon Seas. She's a golden retriever. She's there to bring fun and happiness, smiles to people, which is great too. And I mean, the good thing is, in the case of having a chief dog officer, that's kind of a fun title. Wouldn't it be fun to be a chief dog officer if you're a dog and you want to sail, make people smile? That's great too. But also, what they did too is with their chief dog officers, Rover, the first one last year, they shared more about this too. It's really great because what they did too is they actually, it's their also create really fun things for their staff members too. Okay, because the staff members work so hard. Maybe they got families at home, but once again, who doesn't like to see a dog? I mean, seriously, you miss your pets, whatever, but this is great too, so that's really fun too. But also, I was at a conference last year in April. I actually happened to run into Michael Bailey, the president of Royal Caribbean. He quietly told me they decided to have another chief dog officer on the new ship, Star Seas, okay, and he said her name's going to be called Sailor, okay? That's kind of cute. She's also a golden retriever. They did adopt Sailor, and what they did was they just picked her up this morning. She's been going through training course too with Michael Bailey, of course, to other people, but they picked her up, and right now they're going to go over to have her go to Star of the Seas to board the ship. As mentioned, doing some short media cruises first for media people, then of course another cruise, and they've christened the ship end of this month by Diana Ross, who's going to be the godmother too. So it's how fun too to have a chief dog officer on the ship too. That is really fun, isn't it? And they've showed pictures of her being trained, and just what they've done too is they've actually shown videos of her being at their corporate headquarters, right? And I think when they adopted her, she's maybe 16 weeks old, but she's great too. Just really cute to see her pictures, whatever. Who doesn't like dogs? And to have a chief dog officer on a ship, well, that makes people smell more like crazy. And of course, she's not driving the ship with her paws. That's good too. But once again, she's there to create happiness for people too, which is great too. And just how fun. As mentioned, like I said, Starsea's just arrived in Port Canaveral this morning. Okay, and as mentioned, she's going to be going to, they're going to be offering some short cruises right now. And short cruises right now. And then after short cruises, she'll be christened, of course. Then she's going to start sailing Eastern Western Caribbean cruises too. And they're also including our stop at Coco Cay, their private island in the Bahamas. Perfect day. Coco Cay is where she'll be sailing too, which is great too. So, thank you. Yes, we'll show a video too of Sailor.
We're on the way to Wonder of the Seas to pick up beautiful Sailor. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, Sailor's going to be waiting for us. We're all ready to give her a big, huge hug. And then we are going to go with Sailor to Star of the Seas.
Isn't she adorable? And look how she's being welcomed by people. That's really, really great too. I love it. And so cute to be a chief dog officer. But once again too, who doesn't love dogs? Okay, I mean, I love dogs like crazy. I had one a long time ago, but also that's why I wrote the second book during COVID-19 with my puppy niece, because we talk to dogs. Okay, I mean, they listen to us like crazy, and we treat them like kids that walk on the floor with four legs, and that's great too. So that's great too. I love that so much. But I just found that video this morning, so I thought let's share it today, because how cute. She's going to be taken over right now to Star of the Seas. She's welcome aboard the ship, and things are going to happen when she's there on board the ship too. Creating fun and happiness too, which is great too. Really fun. I think that's wonderful. But how fun, I mean, seriously, how fun to see, have a dog on the ship too. And once again, creating fun and happiness for people too. And once again, she's got carriers with her too. So that's great too. And it's great.
As we're designing the best family vacation, there was one piece that was missing, which is, of course, the family dogs. And when guests go on vacation, one of the key things that they miss are their pets back home. And when our crew are sailing on board for their contracts, one of the things they miss are their pets back at home. And so we really wanted to make sure we brought a fluffy addition to our crew family. We went and got Rover, and here we are now for Star. We're picking up Sailor, and Sailor will be living on Star of the Seas.
Well, the Chief Dog Officer was an idea that we created actually when we were developing and concepting the ultimate family townhouse. We were all sitting around saying, when you think about the ultimate family townhouse, what does that mean? And all these ideas came around, and somebody threw out the idea of having a family dog. And we said, well, it feels a little selfish to have a family dog for just one family. Why don't we have a family dog for the family on board the ship? And so that's how the position evolved, and we thought, well, obviously it's a very important position, and of course all important positions on ships are called chief, so we thought Chief Dog Officer is perfect.
When we first came up with the idea for Project Rover or Project Sailor, we realized we don't really know a lot about what it means to take care of a dog on a cruise ship. And so we partnered with some of the most well-respected animal well-being certifiers globally to really help us create this program from the ground up and make sure that when Rover and Sailor are on board, they're having the best day every day.
So there's a very well-written, crafted position description that, of course, the Chief Dog Officer can't read. The key mission is to have fun, and that's exactly what Rover and Sailor do. They just have fun.
So Sailor is very small. She's about 16 weeks. And so when Sailor gets on board, she's going to take everyone's breath away. Sailor's life on Star will be full of adventure. She and her chief dog officer role really means that she gets to go and explore the ship, go and explore our private destinations with our crew members, really just being that warm, welcoming family for her.
I just totally fell in love with Sailor. I fell in love with Rover as well, but I also fell in love with Sailor. She's so beautiful and loving and funny, and so I just completely fell in love. When we were thinking about the idea, one of the questions was, well, what will the crew think? Will the crew like the idea or not? And so one of the team members had a golden retriever and volunteered to bring the golden retriever down to one of our ships on a turnaround day, and we fitted the dog with a GoPro camera. It was very touching because after when we watched the video, so many crew stopped and hugged the dog and talked to the dog. When we saw that, we thought, wow, this is amazing. People miss their own family dogs.
And as we've done with Rover, as we're doing with Sailor, we really want to make sure we're focused on what's best for these animals. And really right now our focus is on Sailor and making sure that she is having the best life at sea when she gets on Star of the Seas in August.